Hello everyone, how are we all doing? Oh, everybody's chatty. I'll just kind of swing my mouse around here. Oh, right, okay, let's see who's in the WIP Wednesday chat. We've got Jan. Hello Jan, how are you? Might have to leave a little early, that is perfectly a-okay. We've got Miri. Hey Miri, how's it going? Little pink underhand from Miri. And we've got Ulrika. And April's here as well. Yay! Hi April. I got a notification in time. I am so glad to hear it. And we've got Maxie as well. Hey Maxie, nice to see you. And we have Martine. Hi Martine. And Europa's here too. Yay! So we've got a nice little gang already this afternoon. Love it, love it, love it. Nice to see you all. Yeah, so quick update. I know I'm a wee bit late starting today. Just stuff, dogs, stuff. Anyway, general things. I've been caught in the rain, as you can tell. I'm just tolerating my hair at this point. I've mentioned it before. I've got a wedding to go to soon, so I'm holding off on getting my hair done until a bit closer. It's just a couple of weeks away. I am all the shades of the rainbow now. I've actually taken close-ups of my hair loose because I'm pretty sure I can make a cohesive like colour palette out of it to make some art with, and I'm not joking, because I've got purple, blue, and I've got turquoise bits and I've got green bits, and that sounds perfect to me. I don't know about you guys, but I'm actually contemplating doing that as like a video or a live stream. It's outrageous. It's just a combination. See, you've been out running in the sun, and when your hair's pulled up, obviously bits are getting sunlight that other bits aren't. But underneath I've still got like 2 or 3 strands that are like proper purple, and the rest of it's all like weird shades from purple through to green. And at the front here, you won't really see it in this light, but some of these pieces are actually starting to go yellow as well now. I'm just like, I don't know what to do with it. So we're just persevering, but if we could get some artistic inspiration out of it, I'm here for it. It's fine. It's all good. In other news, in the ongoing saga of let's lose some more weight, I took the step of going through my entire wardrobe and getting rid of all the things that are far too big for me. So I'm now down to quite a streamlined wardrobe. And unfortunately, this shirt, this is one of my favourite shirts. I wear it all the time, and I'm at the point now where it's meant to be like a fitted ladies shirt, so it comes in at the waist and it kicks out a little bit because it's supposed to, you know, hug your waist and the curves and all the rest of it. And the description I would use is it's a bit saggy baggy now, and I'm extremely upset about that. So I got this shirt from Joe Brown's. I buy quite a lot of shirts from them because they seem to fit my shape well, so I might have to go and see if I can get an alternative, because again, I get like emotionally attached to inanimate objects, and clothes is one of the ones when I find something that I like and it doesn't annoy me being on my skin. Like I absolutely like wear it to death. So I might have to do that. It's starting to get a bit tired looking as well. You know, it's quite the Scottish word we'd use is pooky. You know, when it gets like bobbly. But yeah, it's been a workhorse, this shirt, but I just like it's a proper farmer shirt as well. I just love it. So yeah, that's the kind of the place that I'm at just now. So I'm absolutely delighted that, you know, I'm at that place where I'm able to get rid of things that are just they're just like hanging on me now. So that's really good. Really pleased about that. I've also got a drawer in my wardrobe that has clothes in it that are slightly smaller and that maybe I can get fastened but couldn't wear comfortably. So slightly smaller sizes. So I tried on a whole load of that today, and I'm pleased to report that that drawer is nearly empty now. So I have a box of even smaller clothes because I used to be smaller than I am. I kept everything. So I have now replenished the drawer with even smaller things again, and I'm going to work my way towards getting into some of that stuff as well. So quite motivated. Should have been on a run this morning and normally run on a Wednesday. I had a terrible night's sleep last night for the first time in probably the best part of 2 weeks, which is almost like unheard of for me. And I didn't have it in me this morning to get up and run. But do you know what? That's okay. It's absolutely fine. I will put my running shoes on tomorrow morning and go out there instead. It was absolutely chucking it down this morning as well, so no great loss really. But I just opened my eyes and I was like, I've only had 3.5 hours sleep. There is no chance that I am going out for a 4-mile run like that. It is not happening. It's just not happening. So yeah, I've been trying on dresses as well. Just because of the wedding thing, I was like looking through my dresses generally. And I bought a dress about 5 years ago and I loved it so much that I bought it in a smaller size. So I have the one that fitted me at the time, and I bought 2 sizes down, and I tried that on today and it fits me as well. So I've taken the bigger one, and that's the one that's I'm going to give it to the charity shop. It's only been worn once, and the smaller one fits me perfectly. So big wins on that front. Art wise, I have sorted out the Scroller box subscription. So the June box that's going to be arriving nearer the end of the month, that would have been the last box that was gifted by Papa Jem, and I had to make a decision on what I was going to do regarding continuing the box or giving it a rest. I am really enjoying the boxes again, so I've decided to take another 6-month subscription. So I have sorted that out today as well. I had to contact Scrollerbox to figure out how to do it because the last one was a gift, and Chris, who is the founder of Scrollerbox, got back to me and told me exactly what to do, and he was very nice about it as well, because apparently just the way it worked out, the way it was gifted, it didn't actually cover 6 full boxes. I was about £4 short of the 6th box, and when I contacted Chris about like how do I change this over so it goes smoothly and I don't end up with 2 boxes in the same month, or like missing a box, and he says like, well, you're actually short, you're gonna have to cover that the couple of pounds, and he's like, I'll sort it out for you. So I thought that was super nice as well. So he's waived that £4 odds for me on the last box from Papa Jem's gift subscription. And the 6-month subscription will start from the July box, which is well. So that's really good. We've got Thea. Hello, Thea. And we've got Cal as well. Hello, Cal. Nice to see you. Sakina, hello. How are you? Can I get it altered, my shirt? I probably could. I might. That might be something to do. I've always got trousers to get altered because I've got very short legs. I'm 5'3", which is like 160 centimetres, but my inside leg is only 27 inches. I don't know what that is in centimetres, but I've got very short legs. So even when I buy, unless I can get really good fitting petite trousers, I nearly always have to take them up. So I might just take the shirt and see if they could do anything with it as well, because I do love this shirt, like I really do. Yeah. He waived the price of a pencil. No, I thought that was lovely because he didn't have to do that, Cal. He could have just been like, oh, by the way, you're going to, because it renews automatically. So he could have just not mentioned it. I thought that was very, very, very decent of him. So yeah, anyway. Right, so other arty stuff. I had a bit of a change of plan today in the nicest possible way. The my original plan was just to focus on the small but beautifully formed age. I don't know about that. I made the comment, I don't know if I told you all this before, my next door neighbour, who's absolutely lovely, it's a family with 3 small children, but the wife is quite a keen runner, and she does it purely to blow off steam, you know, she's not like super serious about it, but she's very tall, and has got lovely long legs, and she's got she's just amazing. And I was talking to someone else that knows her as well, and we were just talking about running, and I said I'd seen her out running, and the comparison between her running and me running, and I said that, see, if you imagine if you were going to a theatre, watching my neighbour running is like going to the ballet, and watching me running is like going to see Mrs. Brown's Boys. If you're outside the UK, you won't get that joke, but it's just one of those things, like, she's so elegant, and like, and I'm like pure like stomping along, like yep. Absolutely hilarious. Oh, goodness me. So yeah, I don't know about that. I'm definitely not built for long distance running. When I was younger, I was very much a sprinter. But, you know, here we are. If Cal had £1 for every time people are shorter than her, she'd be like, yeah, because you're really tall, Cal, aren't you? April gets Mrs. Brown's Boy. Okay, so you know what I'm talking about then. Yeah. So funny though. It's so true. Like I've actually, like, this sounds really boasty. I don't mean it like this, but from a technical standpoint, I have very good running form. I've got a neutral gait, which means my feet don't do this or this when I'm running. My feet are very stable, and my posture's pretty good when I run as well. But I think that's probably one of the reasons why I used to be relatively speedy. I am absolutely not now, but I used to be. Yeah, you're a foot taller. Yeah, thanks for that. So, you know, in terms of technicalities, my form's pretty good, and I run quite efficiently. But just because of my build, because I'm short, and the phrase that is used is tanky, you know, I'm quite sort of stocky built, and obviously I've got a bust and I've got thighs. It just doesn't look as elegant or pretty as watching someone that's got very long limbs and is very tall and slim. So... oh, goodness me. Anyway, enough about that. In other arting news, I've got some videos on the go. I posted on YouTube, on the posts tab, just about the live streams this month. We are thin on the ground with live streams. I've just got so much going on this month. It's a really, really, just a really busy month. The first thing that's coming up shortly is it's Mama Gem's birthday in the middle of the month, and in the absence of having a funeral for her at the time, we decided we wanted to get family together and we wanted to celebrate her birthday this year. So it's just very immediate family members. So that's the first thing, and I've got to travel over to the West Coast to where I'm from originally. So I'm going to have a wee overnight there and just see some family members and catch up with everyone and have a nice meal and talk about mum. So that's one of those ones where, like, I'm half looking forward to it and I'm half kind of like, oh, this might be a bit sad. But that's okay, it's all part of the process. But that is basically the start of like a domino effect of things. And I'm at the point now where I'm having to take some time off work to get some stuff done this month. And I actually just, like, I can't squeeze anything else in between the wedding and one thing and another. So, yeah, it's pretty busy, but I am working on videos. So I'm planning to stack some videos. So most of the filming's going on now, probably through till Sunday this week. And then I'll have them all scheduled and set up for you in the absence of, of the live streams, etc. So, yeah. That's where we're at with stuff like that. I've got Jock in the cave here with me. He's He's having a good old chew at himself. He's very itchy today. Jockey Mo. Jock. Leave it alone. We have to tell him off nicely. Right, so what we're doing today, what we're doing today, my original plan was to stick with the watercolour. I've had a sort of side quest. I was joking about with one of my co-workers, and we were talking just generally about some stuff that's happening at work. And I don't know how many of you are familiar with the phrase polishing a turd. Nice highbrow art here. So the idea of something's terrible, you know, it doesn't matter what way you dress it up, it's still terrible. So yeah, we were talking about that, and we were kind of having a laugh and a joke about not polishing a turd. And I said to her, just like in an offhand manner, I'm totally going to make that into a sticker and send it to you. So guess what we're doing today? So I need to design a sticker for this co-worker that is you like no polishing of turds. If you would like the Scottish word for that, again, I have mentioned this before. The Scottish word for a poo or a turd is a jobby. My co-worker is English, she's not Scottish. So yeah, I need to come up with some sort of sticker idea. So I want to do the sketches for that today, and this is just for fun because I like to make my my fellow colleagues giggle a little bit and just, you know, keep things light. I did send one of the departments that I work quite closely with and have hauled me out of the so many times over the last year at Christmas. I sent them a box of stickers, and it was all the cow ones because obviously we work in the agricultural industry, and just sent them down like the It's a Pencil pencils and some of the stickers just to say thanks and, like, you know, let them stick them to their laptops or whatever, and it was quite well received. So I like to do things like that. One of a friend says you can't polish a turd but you can roll it in glitter. Yes. Cal's right, see what Cal's talking about. She's talking about Billy Connolly, which is one of our most famous comedians, and he's an absolute legend. That is the proper title is The Story of the Jobby Wheeker. So a jobby, you know what that is, and to wheech something is to throw it away. And it's a whole story, and it's hilarious. And that Cal, that is absolutely, it's one of my favourite Billy Connolly sketches ever. It's hilarious. I think Cal, do you think I don't know if you're allowed actually. Maybe Jan could do it. I think one of the mods might have to do it. Can someone find the Jobby Wheeker on YouTube and post a link to it, please? Because honestly, it's hilarious. It really is. It's funny. Okay, so that's what we're going to do for the first part, and then we'll just do a couple of design ideas so you can all brain fart what you think, and we'll try it out in the sketchbook. The second half I want to work on the Winsor & Newton postcard. If you remember back to the last scroller box, we talked about it in the last stream, and we kind of messed about with some ideas. I want to go with the Kelpies. I'm really, really into that, and I've done a couple of sketches, and I've got a bit of figuring out to do before I go into the postcard, so that's what I want to work on today after we've done the funny sticker sketches. So let's do this. I've got my sketchbook here. So that this is just my regular everyday sketchbook. This is the Moleskine sketchbook that I've been working in. I've got a nice fresh page here, and I want to start with the poop. I've just got my It's a Pencil here, nothing fancy today. I tell you what, see, just looking at the camera, I really need to file my nails down. They've gotten so long. See, because I'm not out with the calves, we've only got 3 cows left to calve now, and they're not very, they're not looking like they're close, honestly. I'm not having to like do stuff outside, so when I'm not doing stuff outside, my nails get really long really quickly. They're getting a bit outrageous. Maybe I should keep them for the wedding though and get something fancy done. I don't know. Oh, Jan's posted a link. I don't want to click on it and do anything, but yeah. Martin's like, help you, We'll talk about that in a wee bit. So yeah, like sticker ideas. Obviously, the first thing we need to do is get a really, really good poo shape. I do love the I do love the content of these live streams. Now, there's a classic shape, which, I think we need to kind of like half stick to the classic shape. Highbrow art time. Always, Ulrika, always. I kind of think of the Mr. Whippy ice cream. I'm so glad we're in this space where we're all comfortable. Listen, I talk about this being a safe space, but my goodness. So we could get a really good poo shape, and as long as we pick appropriate shades of brown for this particular part, I don't see that being any sort of issue at all. I cannot stress to you how much my colleague will appreciate this, though. Her and I have exactly the same sense of humour, and it's one of the reasons that we work so well together and we get on so well. But yeah, so something like that. Either the poo emoji shape or that curly combrane sausage shape. Oh, no. A golden jobby. Right, so okay, so I love Martine's idea, a golden jobby. But I was thinking, we could put the little sort of sparkles. The problem is I would make a glittery sticker, right? But the when we print them out, you lose any metallicness unless you do it on metallic paper. I do have holographic paper. In fact, let me go and get it and I'll show you. Somewhere. So rather than thinking about sparkles, maybe we could print it on holographic paper. What I've found with this paper is, though, it does dull the colours down, because obviously you're not going onto you're not printing onto a white surface. But let me show you the paper. I do have sparkly paper, but obviously it's not adhesive, but I've got this. It is quite pale in the grand scheme of things, so we wouldn't lose like all of the colour. But maybe we could do it on something like that. That might be quite nice. But I thought we could maybe put like, like little sparkly stars or something like this, and then put the red line through it. So no polishing of turds, like that kind of thing. And having a round sticker might be quite nice, because I don't do them very often. My other thought was to have like a little duster. Like maybe one of these sort of floofy, not like it could be a feather duster. And have the poop. We could let's have the top face. I'm quite satisfied with this shape of poop though. A starburst sparkle. Well, that's the thing. Like, we could have this on the sparkly paper, and because I can kind of like mess about. Let me just put this onto manual focus. We could mess about with, with the what this looks like, and we could change the colour a little bit, so that when it goes onto the holographic paper, it might look a bit more sensible. A bottle of Pledge and duster in the background. Oh, okay, right, hang on. Again, for those of you outside the UK, I'm not sure if Pledge is a thing for you, but that's like a brand of furniture polish here. That would involve probably quite a lot of detail though, Ulrika. I like the idea. Have the little nozzly thing. And we could have a traditional yellow duster with the red stitching on it. The ones I'm talking about. And then we could just put a little poop, couldn't it? We could just have a little poop here in the front. Oh, I knew this was going to tickle me today. It would, who doesn't love a good poop joke? But we could have the poop in the front there. And then, or we could just have a little cross beside it, a little red. And then we could make that into a shaped sticker. I wouldn't do that on the holographic paper though. I would do that on the normal paper, and we could have little like smelly poop lines coming off. Poop polish guaranteed 100% in effect. I feel like it might need to be a bit simpler than that, but I like that. What about making the whole sticker push? Oh, okay. Ulrika's onto something here. So let's make another. Like how many different ways can we make a? Hang on, I had an eraser somewhere. What have I done with it? I realised that you know that I'm really into the slim Derwent erasers. Where the hell have I put it? Oh, it's there. I'm really into these Derwent slim erasers, and I now realise that I have 3 that are open and have been used, and I don't know how that happened. I really don't. But these are fab. I like it because they when you're erasing it comes off in like little rolls. You don't get like proper eraser dust. Like how many different poo shapes can we get? I wonder what happens if you Google poo shapes. The bottle and the cloth would fit nicely into that shape. I just want one sticker. You guys are making more work for me already. Like, this is literally a sticker to send to a work friend. Yeah, we're not going for a masterpiece here. Good grief. I wonder. I don't think she watches any of my streams. Like she is aware of the cave, but I don't think she watches. I really hope she's not, because this would be like a kind of a bit of a spoiler for her. That's kind of like that's quite a good push shape as well, isn't it? So we could have that as the sticker shape. And that would be the outline, obviously. I wonder if I've got a brown pen or pencil kicking about. I don't think I do. Or wait, okay. Let me see what I've got floating about. I actually don't have a brown anything handy, which is, it's quite unusual for me actually. Let me see. I've got like a no, yellow's not very good either, is it? I must have it. Oh, I've got a brown fine liner. That'll do. Yeah, I really like those erasers. I mean, generally, I'm not much of an eraser snob, honestly, Murray. But I just, they're great because they're slim. You can tuck them in a pocket. I'm a person that doesn't really like to carry a bag unless I really, really have to. So, like when I went to the physiotherapist last time, there is absolutely no mobile phone signal or Wi-Fi signal in the physiotherapy department. So I took my sketchbook and a pencil and an eraser, and I could literally like tuck it all into my pocket because I had one of these. So good. Thea's like, no brown fine. Like, there we go. Yeah, this is the Unipin ones. I do sell these ones in the stash shop. Again, love them. I just want to get a sort of general consensus. No, that's not what I meant. I just want to kind of like see what's what with this. I kind of like this shape. Again, never thought that would be a thing right now, but here we are. It's what WIP Wednesdays are all about. In the meantime, who's working on something while they're hanging out here? Who's working on a wee project or finishing something off? Would love to hear about it. I'm always looking for inspiration, motivation. To be fair, right now, I was feeling a bit flat last week. I am much more back to normal in terms of my arty motivation. My problem now is, like, I'm always tight for time anyway, you guys know that, but I like to be busy. But I am going to struggle for any sort of arty time for the next 4 weeks. July's quite quiet though, to be fair. There's not a lot going on in July, so I can ramp it back up then. Oh, look at that. So good. April's working on actual work. That doesn't count. Of course it doesn't count. Thea's on her mandalas. Good. I don't know if any of you have seen Thea's mandalas, but they're absolutely stunning. Finishing some sculpted fairy doors. Maxie, not that I want to put you under any pressure, but would you like to post something like that on the Discord in the art room and show us? I have a fairy door situation here on the farm, and I would love to send you a picture as a reference image if you wanted to use that too. Rika's finished off another sludgy watercolour just before the stream started. Thea's like, Maxie, can we get pictures? Yeah, Jan, you don't count either. You and April do not count. I'm looking for arty stuff. Right, so yeah, if we do that, I feel like I need the no of some description. So I either need to go down this route or the cross route, and I don't know what to do in terms of that. I really like this just as a sticker on its own. Thanks, Maxie. That would be lovely because we really like things like that. We love all that kind of stuff, don't we? I like the idea of a shaped sticker though. Maybe we could have like the sparkles. You know, we talked about the little kind of starburst sparkles, and we could just put a cross through those. Or do we make that more prominent and put it in front here? Mary's been working on a Christine Karen image yesterday. You've not done anything today. What if you put no with the turd in the middle of the O? We still need the idea of the polishing though, that's the thing. I can't really think of anything else apart from cans of pledges, cans of pledge and dusters, or like an old fashioned like duster. That's the official noise it makes, by the way. I don't really know how else to represent or denote a duster, you know? Like because you get like my mum and my gran used to call them tickling sticks. You know the fluffy like proper feather dusters with the big long handles that you would use to do your ceilings and stuff. We could have one of them, but again that might be quite awkward in the shape of the sticker itself. Are we overthinking this? We might be overthinking this, guys. Honestly, I'm kind of going back to this, and I love all your suggestions, so that's the thing. The white felty thing, yeah, like, is everyone gonna get that though? I keep going back here, honestly. I keep going back here. The thing is, because this is only a sticker for my particular friend, I could enhance it. I could stick like some gemstones or stuff on it. Brasso. Stick a shiny tine into the top of the poo. The white felty thing might make people think you're sanding the turd and not polishing it. Oh God. I don't know why that's so funny. Oh, I can't. Oh, jeez. Oh, right, come on, Jim, pull yourself together. No, April's folded me. I would not recommend trying a polishing wheel on poo. Oh, 0 out of 10 would not recommend. Oh, jeez. Right, okay. I can't with you guys. Oh. It doesn't happen very often, Ulrika. Like, you know, I've gotten pretty good at like keeping myself under control, but I mean, I like poo jokes. We're going to get there. Right, okay, here's my thinking. It's very difficult to be serious about something as silly as this, but I think that if we went for this, did it on normal sticker paper, hear me out, it is only one sticker. I mean, if any of you guys wanted one of these, I'll gladly do one for you as well. But I think we could put something on that would, you know, we could put some sparkle on, whether that's in like sticker format, like sequin kind of format, because I've got a lot of scrapbooking supplies, so we could find something there. Or we could use the holographic paper and make these little starbursts, so we would be sticking vinyl sticker onto sticker, if that makes sense. Could totally do it that way. Thea, there we go. So yeah, I think we've got options. I do think this is the best option though, because it's we're saying what we see there. But although you could take that as no shiny turds. Maybe we should stick with this and put a duster in it, like a, you know, like a chamois. We were talking about the cloth. Or, hear me out, we could have, I'm trying to think of how a hand would hold up, like hands. I'm not good at drawing hands. But you know, if we had a hand with a duster and then the poo, here we go again, just getting the muscle memory in for drawing the poo, and we could have the sparkly sparkly things, and then we could just put across through the hand. We could put little wiggly lines in for, you know, like dusting again, official noises, and then we could have little wiggly lines, so we could still make a shaped sticker out of that. That would be a much more interesting shape as well. I always think a shaped sticker with an interesting shape is quite nice. What if the poo had devil horns and a tail? What? I love how everyone's commenting on Maxie's endeavours here. I will look afterwards. I'm not going to go into the Discord just now, obviously, but I will look later. Maxie, thank you for posting. Too ridiculous. Well, I think we're kind of moving away from what I'm trying to achieve with that. Just saying. There's like, see, now this is, we're back to the same thing again. We could be sitting here with a whole set of poop related stickers, and I would just call it like the Jobby collection. Like, I kind of like the idea of just having a sparkly Jobby, honestly. I can't wait to see what happens when Gemma's out with her sketchbook and someone says, "Oh, may I have a look?" have a page of poo. It's probably the most interesting and entertaining thing in this sketchbook, honestly. These are for after. These are our Kelpie sketches. Apart from that, there's not really that much going on, honestly. The sketches of the poops are far more interesting. If you eat edible glitter, you'll get one. Is that tried and tested, Ulrika? Can you comment on that from personal experience? Oh, that's funny. Oh, lordy. Okay, so I think I have to make a decision here. I'm leaning towards these two. If you guys had to pick, would you go for the red? I do have red. Let's stick with fine liner just because I've got a red one. This is a Derwent Line Maker 0.3. So let's just. Oh God, that's really pink. Why do you look pink? We don't want pink. We want red. I kind of like the idea, but because it's for a person specifically, and as I say, my colleague's very special to me. I tend not to be close to my colleagues. Number one, because I work remotely. I've been on my own and work on my own, and my job role is just mine. You know, there's nobody else that does my job. I'm very solitary in that sense. I don't have a lot of sort of chummy work colleagues. So I feel like this is quite a personal thing, and it's, you know, it's very specific to this person, and I want it to be kind of just for her. So the idea of making the sticker and then maybe doing something extra to it after the fact in terms of printing it, I kind of like that idea because we can make it sparkly. Mary Anthea, I think the first idea is the one that works best. Yeah, I feel as well, because the other thing that I'm thinking of, you know, I'm always thinking in contrast, if we're going to use brown, which we will be, for this part, putting something sparkly or shiny on top of that, it's really going to pop out. Because this background, we could make this a slight off colour, like it wouldn't have to be white. We could make it like a really pale, like Payne's grey or something, just so we've got that contrast. And again, I could kind of fart about. I could mess about with that in terms of printing and try a few different versions on like one sheet of sticker paper, and I wouldn't be wasting sticker paper then, and we could just see what works best. The way forward is definitely putting vinyl on vinyl though, because I had thought about like glitter, glittery, gluey type stuff, but the sticker paper is so sheer. It's super glossy and it's also waterproof as well. So trying to put things on top of that, you're fighting a losing battle there. But sticking more sticker paper on top would be perfect. From the toddler group I used to run, yes, last day of term, glittery cakes for kids' parents dealing with sparkly nappies. That's so good. Love it. Who puts stickers on company laptops? I don't put stickers on my own laptop, let alone a company laptop. Good grief. I tell you what I do want to do though, is my iPad's here. I'm sure I showed some of you this before. Let me just, going off on a wee bit of a tangent here. My iPad, I bought this like laptop type case for it. So you can actually use it properly as a laptop. But on the back here, this is just like transparent, like perspex kind of thing, and it's supposedly so you can show off whatever iPad it is you've got, which I'm completely and utterly not interested in. But I kind of thought about sticking stickers on this part, like cave stickers, because I use this primarily for the cave, and that's why I bought it in cave colours. I think you'll agree, it's quite funky. It's very multifunctional like this though. And I haven't even done that, and that's like specifically for the cave. So I haven't done it on that with my own stickers on my own iPad for the cave. I 100% I'm not doing it on a company laptop. Patty's just come in, she's like, okay, I turned on the live and I see poop. Yeah, you've got a bit of catching up to do, Patty. Nice to see you though, thanks for joining us. Oh, that's hilarious. Okay. I do think this might be the way forward though. This is the way forward. So what's today's date? It's the 3rd of June already. Goodness me. I'm very guilty. I'm trying really hard to put dates on things, but if I just go back the way, I've not been great at it, honestly. Right, so let's use this little corner here. It's gotten really windy outside all of a sudden. I don't know when that happened. The weather's terrible here today. It's not cold. I would say it's a lot milder than it's been. Yesterday was so sticky. It was awful. It was so humid. And it, like, if you went outside, you just felt like as if you couldn't get a breath. It's much fresher today, but it's very wet, extremely wet. And the wind's now picking up as well. It's really grey, it's overcast, it's classic Scottish weather, and our weather forecast is not good for the next week or so. Extremely wet. Okay, so let's use this little corner here. I'm just like cordoning it off. Make a safe space. Sunny and warm yesterday, cold and rainy today, tomorrow sunny and warm again. Such fun weather. The sun came out for a minute. Is it still warm with you, Ulrika, though? Is it still quite sort of stuffy? Patty's just finished picking up doggy poop. Well, we're on theme then, aren't we? Okay, so let's get some coloured pencils just because we can. I'm going to go and grab my old trusties, I think. I'll grab the old Polychromos. Muggy and horrible. Oh yeah. Miri, we've been exactly the same. We got a tiny rumble of thunder yesterday, but it lasted about 10 minutes. Because I was thinking, see if we got a really good thunderstorm, it would help like clear the air a bit and make everything feel a bit fresher, and it never happened. I was willing it to happen, but it didn't do anything. Also, as well, when I go to sleep at night, when I do actually sleep, I'm usually really cold in bed, and the other night I was like actually sweating. I had to like get out of bed and like walk about and stuff because I was so warm. That never happens to me. I'm like the coldest person in the world in bed. So that shows you how sticky it was. And like we're really well ventilated. Our our bedroom only gets a tiny bit of sun at night as the sun's setting in the summer. So like basically between now and sort of midsummer. So it's one of the coolest rooms in the house. We also have concrete floors, like the foundation of this house is concrete and stone. So generally the house is quite cool compared to what's going on outside. So we don't struggle with the temperatures in the house. And I've proven that time and time again over the last week or so. I've had like jumpers and everything on. So for it to get to that point where I'm like, oh my god, it's really warm in here, you know it's bad. I had to tie your hair up. Well, I mean, just look at me today, like, oh my god, I'm pretty sure you could comb that out and get a proper like poodle floof, like a pom-pom. It rained at 1 p.m. for about 2 minutes. Oh, god damn it. God damn it. Right, so let's try it. I wonder if I've got anything round to draw around that would fit. Oh, look, that fits perfectly in that space. Winsor & Newton olive green gouache, if anyone's interested. that's what's in there. Oh, look, it's such a perfect circle. I very rarely use a ruler, but I feel that this is let me just pin this down a little bit. I feel like this might be an appropriate point to do. Can you hear the wind blowing? Can you hear that? No? I don't know whether the mic will pick that up or not. That's proper windy. Let's try there. Oh, that's a bit high up, isn't it? I don't want to make that line too thick either. Right, let's try there. I would probably do this scientifically. I do like to keep things hand drawn, you guys know that. I like to keep that organic. That looks fairly central, all things considered. It's keeping this consistent. I mean, you could do this digitally and it would do it for you, so to speak. I don't like doing things like that because it kind of ruins the whole point of drawing traditionally in my eyes. I mean, I'm not adverse to, and I do it all the time when I make stickers, when I scan the original hand-drawn sticker, I do tidy things up either in Procreate or Photoshop, but it's minimal. It's like just tidying up like lazy lines and things. A lot of you again will know that if I ink line work, it's very inconsistent because of my hand. So I'll do a bit of housekeeping in that sense, but I will not alter a drawing substantially with digital means, because I just feel it kind of takes away from what it's about. But sometimes they can look a bit sort of clinical and I want to keep like character and things, so I would do as much of this by hand as possible, so I can see straight away like that's not great but it's not terrible. So if I was to scan that in right now, I would go into Procreate or whatever and zoom right in and just clean up that line and just make it like a much thinner line. When I'm actually working in graphite though, it's just not a concern at all. Wait, so you can live without having your hair up in a ponytail? Well, to be fair, I mean, again, you guys know most of the time my hair is very much pinned up. I'd reach one of mine through the screen if I could. Ah. Right, there we go. I think that's a fairly acceptable circle. Sort of. Maybe. Now, the burning question is, do we want the poop pointing left or right? I feel like this is like optimal. Is there such a thing as an optimal jobby? If there is, that's what we're doing right now. I really, really hope that none of my loved ones and work colleagues are watching this stream right now. I think I've stooped to new levels today. Circles. Asterisk circles. I kind of want to go that way. I don't know why. Oh, lordy. Let's use the space effectively. Oh, what a day today, honestly. I need to make this not uniform though. I literally don't want it to look like a Mr. Whippy ice cream. Like we need to have some sort of variety in the lines. Ah, Jan, perfect response. I think you have climbed to the heights of shite jokes. Oh, so many jokes. So many jokes. Yeah, someone mentioned earlier about a service, I think it's in the US, and it's spelt, I would say it's spelt Joby. But if you think of the word, if I have a job, it's Job. So it's Jobby Airlines or Jobby Services, and obviously as a Scottish person that's freaking hilarious because it literally means poop for us. So that's a little snigger. I do have a colleague that I work with, not directly, but he will talk about tasks for people, and the part of the country that he's from, he'll say, oh, that's a wee jobby for you, and every time he does it, I'm like crinkled up in the corner, and he's like, yes, we know that means something different for you, Jem, and I'm like, you just said the poo word in Scottish. It's so juvenile. Right, okay, yep. My concern about this is I might actually, I'm back to the shiny paper. I might actually hand cut these, like, you know, like fussy cut them the way you would in scrapbooking. I think that, because basically I could draw the outline on the back, because these are going to be quite small depending on what size I think the sticker should be. I do think it should be quite a big sticker though, not like this size, but maybe not as small as that, maybe a bit bigger than that, maybe like that big. And it means I could fussy cut the sparkles and like stick them on. Oh, Cal's back. Good. Love to hear it. We're all good. So then my next question is, what medium do we do the traditional drawing or sticker in? I don't feel like pencil is impactful. Do we do it in marker? Just for a change. I feel like it needs to be bold. Or do we do it in gouache? I don't think I've ever painted a poop before, but there's a first time for everything. Cal says well, let's face it, I've never drawn a poop in anything up until now, so marker, okay. Well, I would probably go, I don't know if I would go Copics. I might go water-based marker. Gouache for the consistency. I could just go to scoop some poop up from outside, do some finger painting. Oh no. You guys are not helpful today. Like, I just can't with this. I'm all like, let's get the pencils out. And Thea's all like, no, gouache for consistency. Oh my god, you guys. Oh, compose yourself, women. Right, anyway, the point of getting the polychromos pencils out was to talk about the like this background area, because if I want to do shiny holographic sparkles, I need contrast. So I was thinking about maybe grabbing either like the dark indigo or the Payne's grey, or maybe Prussian blue. That might be a bit you know, but having a really light but discernible difference between white and whatever. And again, if I used gouache, it would be really easy to mix like a pale sort of blue colour, so we could have something like that. I don't like just scratch and sniff paper. Oh, good God. Yeah, well, the thing is, we don't want to look like milk chocolate because that's confusing. That's confusing for the viewer. And I'll have you know, and I'm sure you're all probably aware, I am an expert in poop on account of having lots of animals to look after. And part of my job is to study poop. Because you can tell a lot about an animal's health by what's coming out the other end. So there's lots of greens and yellows involved a lot of the time. And that's perfectly normal and perfectly healthy. Well, when it comes to animals anyway. So I would 100% incorporate those colours into what I'm doing. Oh, I've definitely reached a new low today. But I'm enjoying every minute of it, honestly. Oh my goodness. And obviously we could have varying shades of brown, because that's what we do here. Yeah, love a bit of pencil for stuff like this. Hi Susan, welcome to the poop stream. Yeah, no, Cal, I was thinking about something very desaturated, but just not white. Yeah, just go with it, Susan. Thea's absolutely right. Just we've educated everyone in the stream about the word jobby today, though, just so you know. We're good. Someone can elaborate a little bit for Susan. Get her caught up on what's going on here. But yes, we are drawing jobbies. That is where we are today. I've already buckled twice, just through silly comments from all of the cavers. I'm glad we're all on the same level here. I would love to know how many people have left the stream because I'm talking about these things, because we had a couple of people that said hey at the start and I haven't heard from them since. They may have left in disgust. If so, I'm terribly sorry. I mean, this is not regular content, obviously, but this is very important to me for the reasons that I mentioned before. My co-worker is, I sent her an enamel pin badge for her birthday, and it said, emotional support core worker, please do not pet. You know how you see the harnesses on the dogs? I sent her one of those, and it was her favourite thing ever. Like, she loved it. So, yeah. And as I say, I don't have very many colleagues that I'm even remotely close with, so this is important to make her giggle. We want to make her day better. Yeah, so maybe not this shade, but maybe something lighter. And see, this is purely because I think that if we do cut out sparkles on the holographic paper, that it's gonna stand out so much more. And then we can use a really obnoxious red. Oh, I'm gonna have to put my specs on a bit, just to get a bit of accuracy here. I was a bit sort of wishy-washy there. Still not doing very well in wearing the specs when I'm supposed to be wearing the specs, honestly. I do find it though, and I'm sure I said this last time, I actually find that I cope day to day not too badly, but see in low light and when my eyes are tired. So when I go to bed at night and when I get up first thing in the morning, my eyes just don't work properly. And I find that putting my glasses on then is really beneficial. And that's when I like see, like I actually physically see the benefit more, because I'm like, you know, especially if I'm reading really small text, I'm like, oh, there it is. More so at night, because I like to read in bed before I go to sleep if I'm not entirely tired. Again, as a person who doesn't sleep well, I find it better to like be at the point where my eyes are literally trying to close. And if I'm not at that point, it's okay to be in bed. And I've always been taught through all the doctors and everything that being in bed doesn't necessarily mean that you have to be asleep, but you need to be in a resting position. So low light, good temperature, comfortable, in bed, horizontal for the most part. And reading helps me a lot with that. So obviously I'm trying to get myself to that point where I'm super, super tired. And I do get to a stage where I've got like one eye open and I'm kind of like squinting at the page. Having my glasses at that point is really, really good. And I can keep going until like I'm almost dropping off, and then I can just put my book down and turn the light off, and I do actually fall asleep. So glasses are extremely helpful for that. When I'm looking for precision in artwork, this is a time where it's really good to have specs as well. And obviously if I'm doing something that's supposed to be a uniform shape, like this circle here, that's really helpful. But when you're doing more like sort of organic wishy-washy stuff, it's not that important. My eyes aren't that bad yet that I need it for everything. Hey Cass! You're happily drawing a moth and won't be turned away by a bit of poop talk. We're not that weak. No, we're not. Cal's hasn't been mostly horizontal for years. Goodness me. But I've really enjoyed the month of May. I do have a sleep tracker that I use, and again that's just left over for having years and years of sleep problems, and for medical tests and things I had to like keep a sleep diary. And I still do it now, and May was my best month for sleeping this year so far. I had so many nights where I got like 6 hours, which is for me is unheard of. I can fire fully on all cylinders, running and everything on a 6 hour sleep. Some people just are, you know, wired up that way, and some people aren't, but I can survive on minimal sleep. 6 hours is a great night for me, and I had so many nights where I got 6 hours uninterrupted, and it was amazing. Running helps a lot with that though, and I know I bang on about running a lot, but it's so beneficial to me. But I say I've just hit this patch the last few days where I'm back to really, really not sleeping, and in that circumstance I try not to think about it too much and worry about it, because if you do, you're actually making it worse for yourself. I know now at the age that I'm at that it's just a phase, it'll pass. So there's no point in worrying about it or obsessing about it. Just go with the flow, keep your routine, and if it means you're reading until, you know, like 2 in the morning, fine. But if you're tired at 2 in the morning eventually, then great, shut your eyes, go to sleep. So the other thing I need to do here is keep the uniformity and the width of the red part. So the outside's really skinny compared to the part in the middle. So I would start to thicken that up. And again, this is one of those ones where whatever medium I use, I'm thinking gouache might be an idea. Not for the reason that Thea suggested. But if there was any sort of like really wonky inconsistencies, I would tidy that up in Procreate or in Photoshop. Procreate is my preferred method. I find it much easier to use it. Again, like Photoshop and I have never been friends. I hate it with the fire of 1,000 suns. When it comes to print products though, it's much more accurate and much more true to what's on screen than doing it through Procreate. The stuff that I've printed off Procreate looks nothing like what it does on the screen. Like the colours are so off. Photoshop's much more accurate for that. Okay, I kind of think I like this. I kind of like it. Six hours without waking up, yeah, like that's like gold standard for me, and I had a lot of that in May. Like I actually had tons of it in May, which never happens. Yeah, you'd be chuffed with 6. Well, I'm always chuffed with 6 hours. I'm like, yes, so good, so good. Getting the fresh air would help. Well, I find being in a consistent routine running. I get plenty of fresh air anyway. But running consistently really, really helps, because your body's tired, and when I'm out running, it's a very good time to process things mentally as well. Like, I've sorted the whole world out by the time I get back from a run. It's great. And it brings me a lot of psychological peace running. It's not just about the physical side of it. The physical side of it and the way it helps my weight loss is actually secondary to why I run and why I've always run. I mean, I've been running on and off since I was about, well, I ran a little bit at school, but when I started out in the workforce, I was about 18 or 19, and even then I was running regularly, and it does me the world of good. And I know it's not for everyone, but it is something that I really need in my life, and it helps on so many fronts, whether it's intentional or not. 6 hours would be lovely. 6 is my default and has been for years. If I sleep longer, I get headaches. Well, I don't think, I think I had one 7.5 hour night, but that was after like 4 or 5 nights of only getting like 2-3 hours and like broken. So I was obviously just absolutely knackered, and my brain went, no, we're just going to stay asleep. If you get more than 4 hours, you feel like crap. Well, that's interesting. I usually do it in 2 halves. Yeah, and this is the thing for me, like, because I used to be able, I had a spell where I would get maybe 5 hours, but it was broken sleep, and that does not work for me, like, at all. I don't, like, although I've had 5 hours sleep, if I've been up 2 or 3 times during the night, whether it's just awake or going to the bathroom or whatever, I don't wake up in the morning fresh and feeling well rested. I would take 4 hours of unbroken sleep over 6 hours of broken sleep. I just seem to function better on it. You can go longer if you've been poorly or you're not. Yeah. Cal's too used to not getting much. If I get too much, I get groggy. Interesting. I've never had that that luxury in inverted commas. Yeah, well that's kind of like the pattern I was in. If you, again, because I track my sleep, April was one of the worst months I've had. And it was two interruptions, so to speak, about 1 o'clock and then again about 4 o'clock. But that inability to get back to sleep after I've woken up, it's not the waking that's the problem, it's the fact that you can't get back to sleep afterwards. And I was lying awake, because I've kind of got this rule. I will, if I wake up during the night, whether it's just because something wakes me up or I wake myself up or I need the bathroom or whatever, when I go back to bed, I will try and stay in bed and get back to sleep. And I'll do that roughly with my internal clock for about an hour. My internal clock's very good now because I've been doing this for years. I'm usually no more than 15 minutes either way. But if after an hour I'm still like wide awake, the best thing I find is just to get up. Don't turn on the TV, don't look at your iPad, don't look at your phone, but I get up, I have a wee wander about, and then I get back into bed, and Mr. Jem bought me this tiny little clip light that you clip onto your book. And I now put my glasses on, and I just put my little light on, so the light's like literally only shining over the page, and I will lie and read, and see if I read for the rest of the night, that's absolutely fine. But again, it's back to this, I'm resting, I'm in bed, I'm not trying to like multitask or whatever. And more often than not, within maybe 20 minutes, I find that myself like starting to nod off again, and I just shut the clip on the light, because that turns it off, put the book down and take my specs off and go back to sleep. And that's a really good coping mechanism for me. But I do find getting up and walking about in those extreme circumstances, it kind of almost resets you a little bit. Sometimes I just pace the house. The hallway from here, so we're at like one end of the house here in the cave, and the living room, the kitchen, and where the dogs sleep at night is away at the opposite end, and we have one long hallway. And sometimes I find even just walking up and down the hallway for 10 minutes, and again, because we've got stone floors, it doesn't make any noise, so I'm not waking up Mr. Jem or the dogs. And sometimes that's enough just to kind of like reset myself, so that when I climb into bed again, I'm not like, oh, am I awake and I'm never going to get back to sleep. It's all very interesting, but I've been dealing with sleep issues since I was about 23, so that's 20 years now. So I'm kind of like old hand at this. What can I say? Yeah, 2 hours up for a while, then maybe 3 hours. Yeah, that's And I find that so damaging, like it's so damaging. I was given at one point when I was really unwell as a young woman in my 20s, when everything was going wrong, I was given sleeping tablets, and I felt worse for taking them, because I was told, oh, you know, they take a little while to kick in, you know, you've got to give it time. And every time I opened my eyes in the morning, I felt as if I'd been hit in the face by a bus. Like, it did nothing for me. And I got to the point, and it was the same with antidepressants as well. I don't know if any of you have ever experienced this, but I got to a point where I didn't know whether I was actually getting healthy, normal sleep because I was in a pattern, or whether it was just the drugs that were like masking it, and I didn't like that. I was like, I would rather know that I'm a crappy sleeper and I'm not sleeping because it's crappy, than, oh, look at me, I'm getting a sleep and I'm feeling better and things are on the right track, but it's actually just the drugs that were doing it. I've got a thing about stuff like that. See, I'm the same with antidepressants as well. I was prescribed those at one point when I was really, really unwell, and I stopped taking them voluntarily because I couldn't figure out if I actually felt good or whether it was just the drugs that were making me feel good. And it didn't help me get better or try and fix things or find tools that weren't drug related to manage those kinds of symptoms. So I'm not dead against them. There's a time and a place for them, and I think with both sleeping medication and antidepressants, and this is purely my opinion, there is a time and a place for them, and sometimes they're really good to like kickstart a pattern, but I wouldn't like to use them long term, because there's no differentiation for you and yourself as to how you're actually doing, and I didn't like that at all. I didn't like it. They made you hallucinate, Maxie. Yep. Like it's not. I don't think it's not good at all. Yeah. Like there you go. Calcine as well turns into a zombie. Oh yeah, I couldn't tell you the name of them, bearing in mind this was 20 years ago, but I was put on quite a strong antidepressant, and it was almost like someone had like given me a lobotomy or something, because everyone's like, oh yeah, you know, like, how are you doing today? I'm like, I am freaking fantastic, like rose tinted spectacles, the birds are chirping, and I want to do this and everything's wonderful. And everyone was kind of like, really? And I'm like, yeah, let's party. Actually wasn't. It was just the antidepressants that did that. But there's the flip side to that as well, because although you have that sort of increased sense of well-being, it tends to tank you for things like sleep, and you know, like you just sort of like crash out. And again, that's just like what I experienced from them. And no likey, like no likey. And this is the thing, Maxie, though, like it's different for different people, and I would never ever poo-poo stuff like that. I was just incredibly uncomfortable on them because I was trying to figure out, bearing in mind that my depression was work related, there was a lot of stress, but the depression came from, you know, the stress and the resulting outcomes of that, and I had to try and figure out a way to get back to normal, because I knew that wasn't me, and I knew that it wasn't a sort of long-term build-up of things. It was what had happened in that period just before I became unwell, and I was really intent on figuring that out. But I just felt like the antidepressants generally just didn't agree with me. You know, like some people can't take you can't take like codeine, for instance. I felt that way about antidepressants, and I just felt weird all the time, and I'm like, nah, do you know what, this isn't for me. I might find other ways around things. Running was what did it for me. They put a blanket over my problems. Well, the thing is as well, though, and I don't, well, obviously I always talk about this if I'm asked about it. It's not something I kind of broadcast, but when I was unwell, that was back in the time, again, 20 years ago, and stress, depression and anxiety were basically lumped into one thing. They weren't separate conditions or issues. They were just kind of like, especially depression and anxiety, those are the same thing. And I'm like, those are two completely different things. They can be seen quite often together. You know, that's like a comorbidity, but they are not the same thing. Now, 20 years later, I still have anxiety, but I am not depressed. And most of the time I'm not stressed either. And it angers me now because I'm very aware of it and I manage it most of the time pretty well. But that was just lumped into one thing, and it was like, oh, do you know what? Have a beta blocker and have an antidepressant. That was the two things you got thrown at you. And if things were still really bad, they gave you a sleeping tablet as well. And it's like, oh, but you can't have these for long because they're addictive. And that was basically how it was dealt with. And none of those things worked for me in the mid-term. They worked in the short term, but they didn't work for me mid-term or long term. And they certainly didn't help me get better. But again, it's a very personal and individual thing, and I think these conversations are, as always, they're very, very important. So it's not the same for everyone, but I was unfortunate that it was at a time where that was just how things were dealt with. So they hadn't discovered the spectrum at that point yet. At least they don't prescribe orgasms anymore. Yeah. Now, the nice thing is, no doubt, like, that I've developed a lot of tools and coping mechanisms. And I mentioned this not that long ago, that there's still residual things that will never go away for me. One of the places that my anxiety skyrockets beyond anything that's even like remotely sensible, you know, when it becomes irrational, is cinemas. Busy cinemas send me over the edge, and so do supermarkets. But I can go to a supermarket, I'll pick a quieter time, granted, but I can go to the supermarket myself, get what I need, and if I can't find something or it's catastrophic in terms of busyness, it's not something that puts me into a danger zone of, oh, I can't cope. I have coping mechanisms. I still don't like doing it, but I will do it, and I make myself do it. But really busy gigs, really busy cinemas, that's two things that has never really gone away, and I don't really know what to do with it. Like even now, I'm like, the thought of it, it's like, no, like that's hard no from me. No, thank you. But generally, day to day, because there was a point where I wouldn't even leave the house because I was so stressed and I was so anxious about everything. Driving, again, was something that, and I'm a very confident driver, I like driving, but there was a point where I didn't want to drive anywhere because there was so much anxiety attached to it. I still have a tiny bit of driving anxiety if I'm going to a new place or somewhere where I'm not that familiar with. And I have to plan out, like I have to look before I go. I cannot follow sat-nav, like can't fly with the seat of my pants doing that. Have to look at the map, old school, or Google Maps or whatever. Know where I'm going, know what signs to look for. There has to be somewhere to park. I have to know if I'm paying for parking, like all that kind of stuff. But that's things that I will do in advance so that I can do these things on my own without someone holding my hand and not like be a blubbering mess at the end of it or a sweaty pile of stress. So there is lots of residual things, but I think the way that I decided to do things when I wasn't well has been beneficial to me in the years since. And yeah, I cope relatively well, I think. You know. But other people might disagree. Like Mr. Jem, like, see if I get really stressed in the supermarket, he knows just to hold my hand and be like, it'll be okay, we'll get round. But sometimes he kind of looks at me and he's like, yeah, you've got something wrong with you. And I'm like, I know. Just get me out of here, it's fine. Oh, funny. Or cigarettes, yes, cigarettes, that was another one. Like, let's not do that. I love how this has sparked a conversation. Being stuck if the zombies arrive. Do you know the best thing is that that's probably the most relaxed scenario for me. We have access to a lot of stabby things and things that you might not otherwise have access to if you didn't live on a farm. Like I'm fine with an apocalypse. In fact, I probably prefer a zombie apocalypse to going to the supermarket or the cinema. Ah, jeez. iMap and Google Map and Street View. Yep, Street View is great because like if you're like, oh, there's a car park, but like, how do you get into it? Where's the entrance? Google Street View will fix that for you, and you don't even drive. even better. Yep. Ulrika's saying as well she likes to plan out. That's what I do as well. Absolutely. Oh, for Ulrika it's phone calls. Do you know that's funny because that's one of the ones that doesn't bother me, but that's because like just my background and like I spend my whole day on the phone speaking to people, and that's the one thing that I'm really comfortable with. But yeah, I can't I can't go into a busy supermarket. Like, oh, don't look at me, don't speak to me. Jesus, I've just got to get my shopping list and get out. It came in very handy when you went to Chester with a friend. She can't navigate for toffee. April hates the phone. Do you know what? It's funny, I struggle with emails. I will sit for 20 minutes trying to construct an email that's maybe like 2 lines long, and it's because I don't want the tone to be misconstrued in the email. Whereas on the phone, you can either say in the exact words, you know, you can spell it out, but your intonation gives the the general idea of what you're trying to get across. Like I find that text is very misconstrued, and I struggle with that a lot. Like sending emails takes me ages, and that's why I prefer just to phone people. Like even like on Teams, I will phone a colleague or like video call a colleague before I'll send them a message or send them an email, because I know that way that my intention isn't going to be misconstrued or taken out of context or whatever. Yeah. Hey, Green Hat. We're having quite an interesting conversation here. Ulrika can speak to a select few friends on the phone, but even that has taken me a long time to do. Yeah, and it's really interesting that it's different for different people. I think as well, just because I'm a really talky person, it's not surprising that I find being on the phone easier than like emails or text messages. Well, that's the other thing as well. If I send an email, I am not waiting like half a day to get a response from a colleague. I'm like, I want an answer now, so I'm phoning them. Like, see if they've got a little green circle on Teams, you're damn straight I'm giving them a phone call. Well, in the professional environment, we tend not to use emojis, so you know, like there's some colleagues that I use emojis with all the time. But they're the immediate and like, you know, the departmental ones. Writing is definitely my favourite method of communication. Writing is my favourite method of I want to say, no, I can't say creativity because that's drawing obviously. It's a really good emotional outlet in terms of communicating. I would much rather speak to a person, and preferably face to face, so like a video call for me because I'm remote worker, work from home. Fortunately, in my job, we can get away with emojis. The person that we're making the poop sticker from, you can imagine we're fine with emojis there. But there's when we go outside of the immediate department, we can't be putting emojis and things. That's not how it works. Right, guys. I realise I've been chatting away for ages here. I feel like we've covered some quite important stuff though, and there's been some quite interesting things brought up about the differences in people. And that's quite nice. That's quite enlightening for a Wednesday afternoon. I'm going to take a short break. Old geriatric boy here, he's starting to kind of wiggle about a bit, so it might be an idea to poke him awake and see if he wants to go out and relieve himself. And when we come back, I want to work on the Kelpie's drawings for the watercolour painting. Thank you for your assistance with the poop sticker. I will take it from here and obviously share the results with you. I'm also going to go and tip my tea out. It's absolutely stone cold and it's not worth anything now. Blech. But when we come back, we will work on the sketches for the watercolour. I'll also be getting the watercolours out a little bit because I want to test out different palettes and that kind of thing. So I shall leave you to ask Ulrika what she's making for dinner, and I'll see you all in just a moment. Can't hear me, that's better. The conversation about coleslaw, I would like to throw in my tuppence worth as a qualified chef here. I don't want to sound arsey. Coleslaw, in my humble opinion, should be crunchy. You shouldn't have to chew through it like a bit of leather. And you can salt your cabbage, as Ulrika has suggested. It should be sliced thinly enough, like slivers, that it's not an issue. And if you have enough moisture in your coleslaw, so basically if your coleslaw is too dry, like if you don't have enough liquid in it, then you get that horrible crunchy sort of. And if you leave it to sit for like 24 hours before you eat it, it will soften down naturally. Just my point of view, that's what I'm saying. The German way is the Germans like salt. I'm sure Ulrika will contest to that. You can't have it dry. Well, again, that's delete. Thanks for saying what I'm trying to type. Yeah, no. It should sit and stew in its juices, so to speak, for a little bit. You want fresh coleslaw, but if you want to do that, you need to be, your julienne needs to be the skinniest julienne ever. We were never ever taught to salt our cabbage before we do that. Again, that's just from a professional standpoint. A lot of dressing. Well, the other thing as well is remember to take out what the roots of the cabbage. So where the actual stalks that come out from the bottom, you don't want those in your coleslaw if you're eating it fresh. So you cut them out like a V shape and make sure you're only julienning the actual like leafy part. There's a difference between crispy and tough though. There's a balance there. Yeah, so calcium, don't use too much of the white of the cabbage. Yeah, you want more of the leafy parts rather than the actual stems or stalks that come out. Like the backbone of the leaves, basically. Jan's like, good grief, I actually do something right when I'm cooking. I think Jan's probably a better cook than she lets on. What do you think, guys? Do you think that she just downplays it? Anyway, let's get back to here. I'll zoom you out a little bit. Right, so just to explain what I've got going on here. The last time I was at the Kelpies, for those of you that are a bit further afield, the Kelpies are sculptures that are shaped like horse heads, and they are in like a sort of a recreation park, like a man-made park that you can walk around. They are absolutely gigantic. They're huge, and they can be seen from the motorway. And when you're next to them, they are quite something. That they are an artistic feat, and it's one of the most recognisable landmarks and tourist attractions in Scotland. They are quite something. So they're made of metal, and at night they are lit up, and they do them in different colours, and the light bounces off the metal, because it's a very industrial installation, obviously, because it is made of like metal plates. They're quite something. They hold a very special place in my heart, because my first official 5 kilometre race was round the Kelpies, and I've done it a couple of times since, and the race takes place at night when it's dark, and it is such a weird experience, but it's so cool. I like running a race at night is weird, but in the best possible way. So the Kelpies have a special place in my heart. It's not too far for me to drive from here. It's like an hour and 3/4. And there's great parking there as well. So I felt for the Winsor & Newton postcard that it was a really good option, because I have a lot of emotional attachment to it. Again, running, it holds a lot of emotional attachment for me as well. As I just said, like I sort the whole world out when I'm running. And it's quite a spectacle when you're trying to like keep yourself upright and run, and you've got these gigantic horses and you're running around like, wow. And there's people like stopping mid-run to take photos. Like it's not like a big serious like, oh, like organised race and it's very competitive. There's everyone from elite runners down to mums pushing prams that are taking toddlers around and they're almost walking. Like it's so well organised. It's Supernova, if anyone's interested. It's Supernova that organise it, and the Supernova races are always really well marshalled, and everyone's just there for a good time to have fun. But if you want to be serious, you totally can. It really is. It's very inclusive, and it's one of my favourite things. And when you're running round at night, it gives you a certain kind of feeling inside yourself, which is slightly different for everyone. But I really, really enjoy it. And the fact that I'm close enough to go during the day, that's even better now, because I can go just for like a jolly. I'm not actually like trying to run or anything, which is nice. So what I've got here is 2 sketches. So I took, the last time I was there, when I was there during the day, I was meeting Glenn's mum. So my friend that passed away, his mum, and her and I have a really close relationship. And we just went for a meet up because it was kind of like a halfway point for us. And these sketches are just taken from photographs. And I wanted them at different angles because I wanted to find out what would be most impactful for light source. Again, they're quite angular because they're made of metal. And you can see I've put those angle lines in so where the light would hit differently. And I just want to figure out what is the best one to use for a watercolour painting on the postcards. So I've got the paints I've got here. These are the Winsor & Newton paints, but these are the Cotman ones. This is my studio set that that I just kind of dip in and out of. So what I wanted to do was figure out which one looks better, but also decide whether I want to go for like a daytime sky and then do the light source accordingly, or have like a darker, almost like dusk kind of feel, which is what I'm familiar with the Kelpies, obviously having run the 5k race round there a couple of times. I think in gouache I could do a nighttime one and have a black background and have them lit up properly, but watercolour doesn't lend itself to that as much, and I wouldn't want to do that for the Winsor & Newton postcard. So that's what I'm trying to figure out here. Personally, I think that this one's more impactful, but this one shows like the horsey shapes better. So if anyone's got any thoughts, or I would love to hear your preferences as to which one you think. I think this would look better as a postcard personally, but this one shows the horsey shapes better. I'm a bit concerned about this one though, because I think it looks pretty much like a chess piece. And I don't know, it might just look a bit artificial. Yeah, no. Yeah, you can climb up inside them and you can look out their eyeballs, nostrils and mouth. You choose your spot. And move the... I would go for the first one, but move the one at the back forward enough so you can see the full face. But then it's not, yeah, that's like a slightly different angle. If I'm doing this for a postcard, I want it to be perspectively accurate, if that makes sense. Jan prefers the Kelpies to the Angel of the North. Green Hat likes to write one more. Yeah, I'm trying to think in like postcard terms though, because a lot of it is about composition. So this is the wee Winsor Newton book. The postcards are actually completely detached now, but we can use this for reference. I feel like, because what's going to make this is the colours in the background, because these are metallic, so it's going to be greys and black. Let me just show you one of the images actually, so that for those of you that aren't familiar, you can understand. Right, so here's a photo. So if you can see, it's made up with plates and all the rest of it. So when we're doing this, there's going to be lots of detail. I'm probably going to do this with a fine liner, maybe not a black fine liner, but maybe a dark grey. So I want this part round the outside to be, very colourful. So I don't know. I think this one is probably better for that, and I think it shows the actual horse head shape better. But I think this just looks a bit more cohesive. What can I say? Artistic license. Left hand more a postcard, says Susan. Oh, left hand. Okay, left. Mary says right. You could put a bright sun. That's a consideration. Ulrika loves the Angel of North, but then that's heading home. Valid point. I don't know. I'm not sure at all. And this is why I'm doing this here with you guys, because genuinely don't know. But what I did think was either have like really bright sort of backgrounds and keep the detail on these to the like kind of like a minimum, have so like a really nice like gradient, I love a gradient, and have really bright colours and keep what's going on with the actual horses to a minimum, but just making sure we've got those contours in. Or have a slightly more subdued background and pick out much more like of the details of the sculpture, if that makes sense. Bye, Jan. Try not to break Gem again. Hopefully I'm done with that. That's twice in one stream. That's quite something. That must be a record, surely. Left allows for more depth options. Jan's going to double check tomorrow the replay. That's funny. I don't know. I feel like this is more aesthetically pleasing because they're a bit closer together. I feel like this is a bit more detached. I think that would be better like as a portrait postcard type view. Whereas I think this is more the traditional landscape, and that's going to take up a lot of what's going on. So the focus might be more on the detail and the facets of the actual horses, which I suppose technically we should be focusing on because that's kind of the whole point of it. But yeah, you can't polish a turd, but if you polish a kelpie you'll go blind. Martine, seriously, I can't be doing with any more polls. Good grief. Right, let's just do some sloppy watercolour. Let's do some washes and things. I'm gonna grab the this is a black velvet silver. This is a really posh paintbrush. I don't use posh paintbrushes very often, but here we are. But I feel this might be particularly helpful. So let me get my little. I had loads of clips kicking about. I had like 4, and they've all disappeared. I've got this little brass one here. Okay. So let's hypothetically. I cannot find anything. I don't know what's wrong with it. I can't find anything. I don't like it when this happens. I don't know where my It's a pencil's gone. It's disappeared. Ugh. Good lord. Right, so let's just split this, but we'll split it through this horse head. So I was thinking, again, I've used this palette quite a lot. Let's just slop some water down here. Let's make this wet. Wet, 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 wet. Oh, Jock's snoring again. He's so happy. He's so happy. But like really strong colours, so you know, get some dioxazine purple in there. So nice, rich, rich, rich. This is going down really well on this paper. We love it. We love it. We love it. And we can maybe get in some. Maybe get in some indigo. Might put those the other way. Might put the indigo at the top actually. And some purple. And then slop in some mauve or some purple lake. I think maybe purple lake because that's prettier. And then a pinky colour. Obviously, like if I'm doing this on the postcard, I would mix my own colours. I'm just using straight colours here, but I'm just trying to get an idea. But get some pinky colours in there. Look, oh yeah, oh yeah. Love it, love it, love it. It's going to sit so well on this paper as well. Oh, yes, 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 we like this. Ba, 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 ba. And then we can go down into maybe cadmium red hue, which is, I think it's a bit more of a vermilion, honestly, than red. But slap a little bit of that down there. And then we can pull in some of the Gambo's hue, which is like a golden yellow colour. But you can really like squish that in together. So if you did that, glaze it out a little bit. I mean, obviously it would take more time over this and make certain places a bit more interesting than others. But that's really where the interest is going to come from in the picture, because we're going to be very monochromatic here. But if we're talking about this in this kind of light, we need to really consider the facets of the actual sculpture itself, and this is where things get complicated. For me personally, I would use a Payne's grey, just because it's not quite as harsh as mixing black and white or using like an ivory black or whatever. But if we did that, and we think about, we've got a little bit of light at the bottom here, this is going to be really dark in here, so we could maybe do that. And this is going to be dark as well, and this side of the face is going to be dark, the face. And you can maybe put in the eyes, and there's a nostril there somewhere. I'm not sure what that looks like, but I can figure that out later. But we can then sort of steal from there, and we can make these contours. They don't have to be solid lines either. I mean, obviously from the point of view of making things visually accurate and technically accurate, then yes, but we're talking watercolour here, you know, we can take our own slant on this. I just feel like this might be a really nice way to kind of like play with things and work things out. I don't know. Again, I don't ever profess to be some sort of watercolour genius, or even particularly proficient in watercolour. I just kind of like fly by the seat of my pants and, you know, like go with what feels fun, and you know, you guys know me by now. You know where we're at. I'm just gonna look at my reference image a little bit. Yeah, so we're gonna have like, oh, maybe a line there, and then maybe, you know, a nostril in there somewhere. I think maybe this would be slightly darker down this side. And there's like see where the mane is, there's almost like a crest there, so you could make that bit a weeny bit darker. Like, let's just fling that in. So again, working wet and wet might be the way forward here. And this part's kind of folded over. So again, it doesn't really matter, we're not being technical here. It's more about highlighting the different areas of the actual sculpture itself. So let's do that. And then we could go in with a fine liner and put in all the little, like, you know, the itty bitty bits. I think that would be quite nice. I don't know. Pose are currently forbidden. Yes, they are. Some peach. Well, we can mix peach at a later stage. We're in the very basic stage here. Hi Black Rose, how you doing? I think my preference for planning things is while I'm slopping paint down without a plan. Yeah, that's kind of what we're doing here. I would have this significantly darker though, and the easiest way to do that is just, oh my goodness, is just to fling some indigo in, like just whack it in there, like there we go. Oh, just go for it all the way down, mute it down a little bit, but that would give that sort of indication of where the sun is going down. If we don't do that though, if we go like, you know, like nice blue skies, because that's what we want. That's not what happens in Scotland, but let's go for the cerulean blue. In fact, hang on a little second, let's not do that. Have to say, this black velvet brush is serving me well right now. It's got such a big belly, it holds so much water. That's why these brushes are proper popular. Let's just get some water down there though. So let's use the cerulean blue. Oh look, it's so pretty. It's so pretty. Skies like this in Scotland, not so common. I mean, it is possible, but so we could have something like that, and there is like landscaped areas around the bottom. So even if we wanted to grab a little bit of like say the sap green, for example, we could pop a little bit of that in down here. Again, maybe just like a suggestion. It doesn't have to be, oh, we're going to put some tree outlines there. But if we suggest that might be there, let's just pop that in. And then we can grab maybe the hooker's green and plonk a little bit of that and see what it does. Again, this isn't like the background isn't the focus of the picture, obviously, but we want the background to set off what's going on in the foreground. But if I was going to do that, then I would use much more significant contrast between the facets that we're talking about. So for I would still stick with the same colours though, to be fair. Let me just sort my, there we go, put that back in where it belongs. I'd probably go Payne's Grey, and in this, so you know, you can think about an actual light source in this sense. So let's say it's coming from there, so this part down here we would want to be substantially darker. The other thing to note is their mouths are open, so we would have to navigate that as well. And then this part down here is going to be light because there's going to be, you know, a bit of light hitting there. But we would just do that with water. We wouldn't mix any more colours. And that would be quite a solid line down there. And again, this part at the top here would be really, really light compared to what's going on there. I don't know about... this would be the middle ground. And we could maybe, can you hear drops? Snowden's bad. Just where that's tucking in. And then this part at the back here, this would be super, super dark, like super dark. So obviously we would let this part dry so that we would have a really nice defined line. I'm not going to do that now because I'm kind of running out of time. but the shadows and the facets would be much more dramatic if I did it this way, and I would spend a lot more time, again, just to show you the detail. Like, if I was going to do it this way, I would like put in with a fine liner all these tiny little lines, and I would work really hard to make sure I had all the sections of it, not necessarily in explicit detail, but they would be very defined. Whereas I feel like if we did this more colourful version, that would be a bit more kind of like loose, you know. I always like a sunset and a sunrise too. Right, so this is the burning question. Do we go with this perspective or this perspective, and do we go with this kind of idea of having a really dramatic sky, bearing in mind that the sculptures themselves are metal and we're going to be very monochromatic with that, or do we go for this? As I say, I think I've got a photo that I've taken. This was a photo that I took when I was on, it was the very first run that I did, but this is them lit up at night, like it is dramatic, and these lights change colour, so sometimes they're purple, sometimes they're greens, you know. This is a separate artwork for me though, but from the photos that I've taken, I'm not sure what to do, and this is specifically for this postcard. So Susan thinks the blue sets them off. Bright sky is probably a better option if the kelpies are the focal point of the image. So more detail in the actual horses than the sky. I like your thinking. Oh, I've dropped a paintbrush. Okay, I think we might have a consensus here. I'm not entirely sure. Does anyone else want to chip in? Also, I'm very aware that there's quite a few of you in the stream. If you haven't dropped a like on the stream, could you do it for me now, especially now that we're not talking about bodily functions and excrement? That would be lovely, thank you very much. Okay, but the thing is, we can make this like sunny sky interesting as well, because we've got cloud formations. We can use different types of blue. Like, there's loads of room for manoeuvre, and I am quite excited about using a fine liner to pick out those details. When it comes to inking, that kind of thing is absolutely fine for me. It's outlining things that's the problem. So I don't have the same restriction on using my hand and making a mess of it, because it's tiny little strokes at a time. It's much more manageable for me versus having to like outline something that you're going to paint or whatever. Ulrika prefers the sunset. Ulrika, I think I might do you a little postcard all for yourself and just send it to you. How's that? Do a dark one for you. But again, see, I want to pick this up in gouache as well, and I'll probably do it on black watercolour paper, so we can see how that turns out too, and if you like it, then that's fine. But we can't send a black watercolour painting in for the Winsor & Newton project, and that was kind of the whole point of this. I am absolutely in love with this. I think this is the best packaging ever. Like, I'm really pleased with it. Like, they're so cute. The coloured sunset makes them grey, the blue looks silver. Okay, well that's quite a nice point as well. Oh, it's Ulrika's birthday at the end of the month. Okay, well maybe we'll do that just for funsies, guys. What do you think? Will we do a special one for Ulrika? I think that would be lovely. I think that'd be a great idea. Yay, more things to do. I love all these little side quests, they're so good. I kind of just like that as a sketchbook page, honestly. Like, quite good. And everything's very bleedy, obviously, because we did wet and it's all kind of gone, oh. But you get the idea. Sunset for Ulrika, blue skies for the project. I think that's a great idea. You guys are so helpful. This is why I love work in progress Wednesdays, because we get stuff done, don't we? We're very productive. Very productive indeed. I'm just sitting looking at this like, oh, what do I do with this now? I'll find a use for it. It'll be fine. It'll be all right. Oh, good. I really genuinely want to thank you for your help today. It's been very productive. As I say, the sticker for my work colleague, she really is a friend as well, and just to make her smile, just for funsies, You know, I mentioned that as an offhand comment, but to actually send her something, I know it'll crack her up. So it's completely worthwhile, and that's why I art. Like, you know, I'm not here just to like make money and things. But I think between the watercolor sketches and the poop sketches, we've done quite well today. I've had such good fun. It's the fact that I've melted laughing twice that makes it even more worthwhile. So I'm going to leave you here, guys. It's nearly 5 o'clock. I am incredibly busy just now, as I mentioned before. So I'm going to go and I'm going to get on because I've got video editing to do as well, so that you guys have got stuff to watch and I don't abandon the cave over the next month while I've got loads of other things to be dealing with. It's just life, though. It's, you know, it's just life is the way it is. But anyway, thank you once again for your service. I will see you all back in the cave really soon for another live stream. Well, not really soon for a live stream. The next live stream is not until the 17th. Is that a lie? Did I make that up? It's like 2 Wednesdays away anyway. But there will be videos in between time. And if anyone isn't in the Discord and wants to join in, we're quite active there. We chat amongst ourselves. We share things. And we've got all the pink on our hands. If you would like to join the Discord and you're not part of it, you can email me at colourcavegem@gmail.com and we will join you in, and we'll see you all back again really soon. See, probably for a video. Pink on our hands for everyone. We'll see you all soon. Bye bye for now, everyone.